They say Lanchang commanded 1,000,000 elephants, a kingdom that made emperors tremble. For more than 3 centuries, it stood unconquered, proud, eternal, and then it vanished almost overnight.
What if the story we've been told is wrong? What if it didn't fall to enemies at all?
What if the kingdom collapsed under its own greatness, crushed by the weight of its own power?
Our investigation begins here, where myth, empire, and memory converge.
The year is 1353. The land we now call Laos is a patchwork of divided chiefdoms.
Phang exiled as a child, returns home with an army of Khmer soldiers at his back.
He comes not merely to reclaim land, but to forge something entirely new.
From scattered valleys and rival lords, Phang will build a kingdom that endures for centuries.
He calls it Lanchang Home Cow, the Jiao, the kingdom of 1,000,000 elephants and the white parasol.
The elephants are real, thousands of them, trained for war and ceremony alike. A war elephant in Southeast Asia was not a beast. It was a tank, a moving fortress. Under Phang command, elephants become the symbols of divine authority and royal might.
To see a king atop an elephant was to see the cosmos in motion, order rising from chaos.
But Phang was more than a conqueror. He was a visionary who understood faith as power.
The Frabang, a sacred image gifted by the Khmer king, became the soul of the new kingdom. Control the water, and you control life itself. Rice, power, and survival flowed together. He forged unity not just through swords, but through marriage, religion, and story.
Each alliance bound local chiefs to the new order. Kinship became governance.
He commissioned chronicles, Trung, rewriting chaos into destiny, division into divine plan.
In his version of history, Lanchang wasn't conquest, Kurun. It was restoration of cosmic harmony. The idea worked. From faith and fear, a new identity emerged. The people of 1,000,000 elephants.
By uniting a dozen rival Muang, Phang created one of the largest inland kingdoms in Asia.
Its reach extended from Yunnan in the north to the shadow of Angkor in the south.
But what Phang built carried a flaw, invisible, dangerous, waiting to surface.
For a century, Lanchang flourished. Gold, silk, and elephants flowed through its heart.
Merchants came from every direction, drawn by its wealth and reputation.
Buddhist learning thrived. Monks wrote, translated, and preserved texts that shaped generations.
Chinese, Vietnamese, Thai envoys all sought alliance with the elephant throne.
By the 1500s, Lanchang stood as a peer to the greatest powers of its age. He moved the capital south to Vientiane Tufinos, a bold decision to defend against growing threats. He built Pha That Luang, the great stupa, gold against the sky, symbol of divine kingship.
Faith anchored power. Religion and rule were one, inseparable. But beneath this brilliance, something began to shift. Subtle, silent, inevitable.
Ambition spread through the ranks. Loyalty frayed at the edges.
Succession was never clear. Power depended on personality, not institution.
Local chieftains began choosing sides. calculating survival instead of allegiance.
Burmese to the west, Vietnamese to the east, the call. Enemies watching, waiting.
External wars demanded unity. But unity was exactly what the kingdom had begun to lose.
Victories came at a cost. Each campaign drained strength from the heart.
The center began to weaken. The authority, once divine, now questioned, even mocked.
Faith itself fractured, as Theravada Buddhism shifted focus from kings to individuals.
When belief fades, power erodes. Without sacred purpose, duty becomes ambition. And as faith waned, the land began to change. Droughts deepened. Rivers withdrew.
The same nature that had once blessed the kingdom now turned against it.
The hydraulic systems, the lifeblood of Lanchang, faltered under neglect and changing skies.
Without unity, no one repaired what had once sustained the empire's pulse.
Lanchang, the land of 1,000,000 elephants, began to bleed silently from within.
What began as legend now trembles on the edge of collapse, Ali. And
The glory of Lanchang stood tall, yet the sky itself began to turn against it.
Nature's balance, once the kingdom's ally to me, now struck with vengeance.
Floods drowned the harvests. Famine followed.
The cracks were everywhere, not just in stone, but in the structure of the realm.
In the palace, ambition grew louder than loyalty. Each lord believed himself indispensable. Each schemed for more.
To rule Lanchang was no longer divine destiny. It was survival.
Wars on all sides drained the kingdom's strength. Men, gold, faith.
The Taungu dynasty came like a storm from the west. From Ayutthaya came another, hungering for the elephant lands. Every border burned. Every ally demanded tribute or blood.
Faith tried to hold the center of Kerala, but even the temples began to choose sides.
Theravada's quiet revolution stripped kings of their divinity.
When kings ceased to be gods, the kingdom ceased to believe in itself.
Decades passed. The golden stupa still stood, but its glow was hollow.
The once living arteries of empire were fading veins of memory. Families left behind their land. The lifeblood of the realm bled away silently.
Some tried to preserve the Chronicle's K, to save what might soon be forgotten.
Outside, storms rose again. Inside, silence took hold.
And in that darkness, the empire's heart began to slow.
The year is 1707. The king is dead. No heir stands undisputed.
Within days, the court fractures, each region claiming the throne.
3 kingdoms, 3 kings, 1 shattered legacy. No invader came. No conquest was needed. Lanchang divided itself.
It cracked like ice under its own weight.
Declarations of loyalty, rebellion, betrayal, all in the same breath.
Even sacred relics were seized by competing kings. Power, once sacred, now meant nothing.
The people who had known one king now faced three and obeyed none.
The Great Confederation, once unified by faith and kinship, was gone.
The chronicles end abruptly, as if history itself lost interest.
The kingdom of 1,000,000 elephants was dead, decayed, undone by its own design. No enemy had conquered it. No foreign banner flew above its walls.
It died quietly of success.
Nature moved in where kings once ruled.
The faithful remained tally, not as rulers, but as witnesses. Even the sacred symbol of power returned to the soil.
Lanchang had expanded beyond what its spirit could sustain.
A kingdom of elephants may stand tall, but it cannot dance in chains of pride.
Its own success canned, scale, diversity, ambition cowed, became its undoing. Even the stars seemed to mourn the kingdom that believed it could last forever. The kings were gone. The elephants too. But their ghosts remained. In the hills, people still whisper their names.
Fangum, Setatirath, the elephant kings.
They say the kingdom didn't die. It only slept beneath the trees.
Fragments remain scattered across nations, invisible borders drawn through shared memory.
Centuries later, the land still hums with the echo of its lost unity.
A few descendants remain, silent witnesses to a forgotten empire.
Faith endured, stripped of kings, but not of meaning.
Lanchang's fall was not an ending, but a transformation.
The kingdom of 1,000,000 elephants had become dust, yet its silence still speaks.
Centuries have passed, but the river remembers.
Here, life continues, flowing over buried memories.
He carves not to sell, but to remember.
Because kingdoms die only when their stories are forgotten.
Lanchang breathes still in the laughter of those who do not know its name.
The paint has flaked away, but the vision remains.
Every alms bowl offered each morning is a ritual older than memory.
Words passed from teacher to student, like whispers across time.
Lanchang's light was never extinguished, only dimmed.
They call this land the heart of Asia, because its pulse never stopped. The chronicles say,
perhaps that was the final lesson of the 1,000,000 elephants.
that greatness cannot be measured by conquest, but by endurance.
Lanchang endured in ways stone could not, in language, faith, and song.
Even music carries memory, a melody older than nation.
The people release lanterns not for luck, but for remembrance.
Each flame, a soul of the past, ascending through the night.
Some say, when the wind is right, the elephants still march in dreams.
Empires are like storms. They rise, they pass, they leave fertile soil behind.
What grows in that soil is the quiet wisdom of failure.
The first king still watches, not from marble halls, but from the forest's silence.
He built an empire that outlived even its name. Unseen, the bones of Lanchang still shape the living land.
Its map was never erased, only rewritten by time.
Children, repeat the names Luang Prabang, Vientiane, Champasak, like prayers.
The lesson ends, but the echo remains.
They take pictures. Unaware, they stand where an empire's heart once beat.
Gold leaf covers old stone bahal, new faith layered upon old devotion.
Perhaps that's what survival truly means. Adaptation, not endurance.
Lanchang didn't vanish. It transformed.
Its spirit dispersed, carried in the hearts of the people.
The kingdom of elephants became a kingdom of memory.
And the Mekong flows, endless, patient, the same as it always has.
Empires rise and fall, but the river teaches eternity.
A new generation digs where textbooks remain silent.
We were once one.
Above it all, the heavens remain unchanged, silent witnesses to time.
Lanchang's story isn't just history, it's prophecy.
A reminder that greatness carries the weight of its own collapse. And that power, without humility, consumes itself.
The smoke rises, but the scent lingers dully.
Morning returns, as it always does. The world forgets. The land remembers.
One survivor. One symbol. One echo of a million.
Lanchang, the kingdom of a million elephants, breathed still, in silence.
Its voice is not gone, it's simply quieter now, waiting to be heard again.
Listen closely, and you might still hear it.
Civilizations never die. They change their names and continue.
This is their river, their memory, their eternity. Lanchang's fall was not the end of history, only the end of forgetting.
The kingdom
of a million elephants still whispers in the heart of the Mekong.